Let's go to get more reactions. I'm joined by Avirook Sen. He's a journalist, author who's also in Texas at the moment. Avirook, what's the mood? It appears at the moment that Donald Trump is proving that the pundits and the pollsters wrong once again.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think Jake Tapper of CNN, I just read a quote by him, which I thought was quite interesting, which is that, you don't smoke your own stuff. You don't get high on your own supply. And it's turning out that way because a lot of pundits, at the moment at least, they seem to be scratching their heads and wondering where they had gone wrong. But the possibilities were always there, Rajdeep, that the polls were wrong. I think everyone, put their disclaimers down in bold print, this poll, because of what had happened last time. But that said, there's a bit of a way to go. Pennsylvania, for instance, there appear to be some counting difficulties there. And
in fact, Avirook, we should tell our viewers only 25% of Pennsylvania has counted, so it's about 75%. Absolutely. So it's a long way to go in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, and Wisconsin. The fact is that Biden will probably need to win all three, and Trump will need to ensure that he doesn't lose at least two of the three. So it's coming down to these three states, and it's a long way. Chengappa, though. Having said that, Trump's tweets already indicate that he believes he's won. He's thanking America for... So the fear is that even while parts of America are counting, one of the candidates will say that he's won the election.
Rajdeep, increasingly I feel America needs an election commission like India does. They can learn a lesson on that front. But it will get truly messy if Trump begins to challenge and declare himself victor. I think he should have enough sense as president to wait till the mail votes come in. As you rightly said, there are plenty of mail vote counting to be done. So we do not want, the premier democracy in the world to look stupid at this time. We believe that their democratic values is what has driven much of the world in the last century or so. And therefore, it's very important that this election doesn't demean America in that way, that the people get a sense that this is a fair election, that the vote counting has gone appropriately, and that democracy is upheld in America again. It's very critical for the world for that.
In that sense, therefore, I think just as the world is pressing the pause button, so does Donald Trump. Because remember, every election, particularly an election as tight as this, will go down to the wire. And the fear, of course, is will Donald Trump accept such an election? Irfan Nuruddin, is that a fear that Americans have? A wall has been built around the White House today. You're in Washington. That maybe will Donald Trump accept the verdict, whatever it be?
I think that's highly unlikely. And more importantly, he's going to have to accept the verdict if he ends up losing. The question is whether he will accept it with any good grace and with sort of the gravitas and responsibility that befits an incumbent president. And nothing about this man suggests that, good grace is part of his vocabulary. So I suspect that there'll be a lot of accusations, a lot of grievance thrown out. With all due respect to the previous speaker, the notion that America is the premier democracy in the world is laughable. If the night goes as we expect it will, this will be the third time that in the last 20 years that the Republican Party will have lost the popular vote. Even if Mr. Trump ends up winning the presidency somehow, that is not a viable electoral system to sound legitimate, to sound representative in the 21st century. This is, in fact, a mockery. It's the only electoral system, leading democracy I know, in which one of the major parties actively tries to suppress the vote of racial minorities and other groups. So there is a lot that is truly broken about American democracy. And the president of the United States right now is maybe the leading person wielding a sledgehammer, making it even harder to salvage that democracy. So there's a long way to go, but no, I do not expect that Mr. Trump will leave the White House in good grace should it come down that he has ended up losing the election.
And it is coming down to the wire. Let's be very clear. All those numbers, whether in the Electoral College or whether some predictions are being made that Donald Trump will cross 270 are premature at the moment, quite simply because the battleground states have in some instances voted less than 25%. We can call Florida safely for Donald Trump, and that's a big win for him. Remember, since 1928, there have been only 2 occasions where Florida has voted against the national mood. So that is a good omen for the Trump camp. But the key now is Pennsylvania, which Trump needs to win as much as Biden does. So that is where this election could well be decided, and less than 25% of that key state has voted upon. I keep telling these precautionary warnings because we've seen in America it's important now in an election like this to wait till the last round of counting.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.